How's it going? This is Ryan with RMark Trades, and today is Wednesday, July 19th, and I wanted to review some trades that I took today, uh, how I found them, what I was looking for, entries, exits, stop loss, just how I approached the day trading. Um, First of all, every single morning I come to the daily chart. I look at where we are relative to some of these levels. I plot new levels depending on where we are. If we're way down here, I don't care about these levels up here. But this is the range that we've been in, and we haven't been in this range since what, like over a year ago or so. So some of these levels are derived from levels I charted from the daily. As you can see, some of these here that I have pretty easy to spot, just big areas of support / resistance, whatever they're acting as, but just levels of confluence where you see price action either getting rejected or bouncing off of. And as we look at the daily chart, or sorry, the hourly chart for today's session, there'll be some other lines, levels that come into play here. So this was a level that I got from the daily chart. This was a level that was yesterday's high. I saw in pre-market that it looked to be opening above yesterday's high. And so I marked two levels from this daily chart. I marked yesterday's high, and I marked this one here, which was the pre-market high that we touched a few times and then broke above. Initially going into the day, my approach was we are opening above yesterday's range. I would like to see us pull back and retest these levels, either yesterday's high or the pre-market high, for bounce and continuation upwards. We've been bullish for a while now. We've been ripping. So showing strength pre-market, opening above yesterday's range. I was thinking that we're probably looking for a move to the upside. So that's where these two levels came in, and that's initially what I was looking for. I'm going to go down to the 5-minute chart here, and we'll look at sort of what happened, how things played out. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So straight off the open, we never retested this level. We did later in the day. I wasn't trading at this point, but we did retest those levels, kind of that between that high a day and the pre-market high. So that would have been a good bounce to take, especially if you see that rise in volume coming in and that long bottom wick. You can see we kind of moved up from there. So those levels finally came into play a little later in the day, as you can see. But none of my trades had anything to do with those. So we opened real strong. We pushed all the way up, kind of pulled back down. Next candle printed went all the way up to that 456. That's a whole number. Usually whole numbers are areas of interest, typically because institutions or large buyers or sellers are going to sell or buy orders at whole numbers. It's unlikely that they're going to sell 1,000 stocks at 455.8 or some arbitrary number. Usually it's a whole number. So usually there's some price action around whole numbers. But we pushed all the way up. We hit that. We pulled back. We got this candle, which was a little bit of like a looked like we might be getting a continuation upwards because we had a sell-off on lower volume. We had this candle print with a long bottom wick with even less volume. And so at this point, I was looking for a potential call. I was saying that if we look like we're putting in a higher low, I'd be interested in taking a call position and seeing if we can't break above the high a day that we set over here. So on this second candle here, I was waiting for a base to form. I want to see at least 2 candles or so before I get in. But we have this candle. We kind of failed, set a new low. That got bought back up. So another long wick on the bottom, even slightly green. And that was higher volume as well than the previous. So it looks like buyers are stepping in. I got into a call here. I said that I would move my stop loss. Initially, my stop loss was a little bit below this bottom wick, so just allowing myself a little bit of room to breathe. So I got in somewhere in here, set my stop loss down here, and I said that if we did break above 456, if we could close above that, that I would move my stop loss up to break even, which effectively puts it somewhere like right in here, about where I got in on this candle. So we break above, we have, you know, good volume, it looks like a nice bullish candle. I raise my stop loss to break even, thinking that, you know, we're gonna continue this move upwards. This next candle here fell all the way down and hit my stop loss to a T. It stopped me out at break even and immediately went back up. And as you can see, we pushed up to about 456.3. That option contract moved pretty nicely. I can see if I can pull this up here. So it was a 456 call for tomorrow's expiration is what I was looking at. So I got in right in here. It was 1.3 was my entry, and that coincides with, so you can see this price action is sort of reflected in the premiums here. So I got in on this candle at 1.3, and on this candle we were up a bit. I set my stop loss, raised it. On this candle we came down and wicked and got me out. It shows that it only went to, I think my stop loss, okay, so my entry was 1.3. I set my stop loss at 1.31 because that's technically break even because you pay a $1 fee for every option contract that you buy. I was only trading one option contract. So 131 would be my my break even point. We touched that, literally bottom ticked it before going up and moving all the way up to, on this move, going all the way up to 1.6. That would have been a $30 move. That would have been great. But I got stopped out right before it. So lesson number 1 from today's session, don't move your stop loss up too soon. I think I could have de-risked a little bit. I think my stop loss was like 1.25 or something, like right around this bottom. I could have moved it up to, say, here, you know, like 1 point, even that, I mean, that's pretty much where I moved it to. I could have de-risked by a few dollars. Maybe that's not even worth it. Point of the lesson is I didn't give enough room for this trade to play out. Did play out. We had a bottom here. We moved up. Premium moved nicely. I just missed it. So I didn't take a loss, but I missed the move. So that was my first trade of the day. However, as I was watching this play out, I noticed something. I noticed that we were forming this channel here. So we had a big push up. Oh, not a price line. Come here now. That drawing, trend line. I noticed we were forming this like upward channel. And if you don't know, that is a pattern that can sometimes break to the downside. And so I was watching this. We had this huge sell-off right here. You can see accompanying volume, big sell-off. We broke that channel. I entered puts on this retest here. Perfect retest of that channel. Broke, retested on the next candle, and we came back down. I took a small profit here. I saw it pull back up at this level here. I saw that we had, you know, kind of rising volume as we're coming down, and then a giant bottom wick on this closed green. I got out for, I think it was a $5 profit. It was very small. I took a 456 put, I believe is what it was. Tomorrow's expiration as well. We came back up and we start wicking up in here. I took another put at this candle, retesting this 456 and this previous channel. So it's kind of like a double confluence of this 456 whole number and this channel that we were previously respecting. I took a put position here, and we, give me 1 second, I gotta plug my laptop in. Hold up. All right, we're Gucci. Don't want to die on me. I took another put position up here. This next candle that made a slightly higher high than this one, the premiums were moving pretty weird. And let's see if we can look at this here. I think it was 456 I was trading, or 455. We'll look at 456. So shoot, where are we here? 830-ish. All right, so we're in this range. I got in on this retest, which would have been somewhere up in here. I set my stop like $10 above, or excuse me, this is all backwards. I'm upside down here. I got in somewhere up here. I set my stop like $10 below, and it moved pretty quick against me. And I actually got stopped out for a $10 loss. So profit loss on the day was -5. So I had a small $5 win here. I broke even here, so nothing there. Small $5 win, $10 loss. I took another put, and I'm trying to think here. How does this play out? First of all, I overtraded. I shouldn't have been taking so many trades. I should have let this play out. But I did get in on another put here, and I took profit on this candle. This was around 8:45. I needed to start my job, so I didn't plan to trade past this point. I took a put up here, it came down. I had a small profit that I broke even for the day. So overall, net zero, broke even. Had I held, we printed all the way down to this level that I had. That would have made an incredible return. I mean, let's look at it. You know, if you got in somewhere in here, 1.2, it went all the way to over $2. It's an $80 gain in 10 minutes off of one contract. So the execution was sloppy. The idea was there. This was another lesson in stop losses. My stop loss was too tight. I got stopped out and had to re-enter to catch this move. I should have never gotten stopped out here. There's no reason to. We had set a lower low here, so this was previous low. We set a lower low on this candle, came up, retested this area, you know, had some selling. There's no reason I should have got stopped out there, but I did. So I missed this move down. I actually logged off. I took profits on this candle. I logged off. I missed all this. I saw it later in the day and was devastated because it played out exactly how I wanted. I was looking for a fall back down to this level or the opening print. Anywhere in here, I probably would have been taking profit. But alas, I did not. I logged off right after that candle. I didn't even see this happen. Those were the trades I took today, and the lesson that I'm taking from the trades that I took today is I got to figure out my stop loss. I need to give it room to breathe, but it's also a question about risk management. You know, what's my risk to reward? What am I expecting to get? How much do I want to risk in comparison to be profitable? I will say I was playing it overly safe by moving my stop loss into break even once I started to go into the green on my position. I think I need to give myself a little bit more room to run because that has stopped me out numerous times in the past 2 weeks, stopped me out at break even. And I would say fewer times it saved me from a loss than it prevented me from catching a gain. So I think I have been preemptively trying to avoid loss and trying to save my ass by setting stop loss at break even, and it's prevented me from catching the actual move that I was looking to catch. So if we look at how the rest of the day played out, I mean, these levels I marked, yesterday's high did come into play. Look how many times we bounced off it. 1, 2, 3, finally broke it, came back up, retested the pre-market high, kind of failed, broke above it, and then we sold back off, and then we're kind of bouncing around that level again. And then we broke through, and we're retesting this level that I have from the daily chart. So it's moving level to level. The levels I'm marking are there. the trades that I'm seeing are there. I think my execution really has some work to do. If we're looking at, say, tomorrow, we've sold off, throughout the day. We sold off. We actually probably closed the day really close to where we opened. So almost like a bit of a doji where we don't have a ton of body to that candle, but we've been selling off in the aftermarket. It looks like we're forming this little range between 453.7 and 454.7 or so, like this dollar range. I'm going to be curious to see how the aftermarket and pre-market play out. But essentially, when we're in these ranges, I look for a break to one side or the other. So as you can see here, we're in this range between this level and this level pre-market. We broke above. A entry on a retest of this level would have been great. That was a trend day, so you could have just taken any pullback for calls there. I'm going to be watching this level here. If we break to the downside, I mean, we've been bullish for so long that I would be shocked if we did not have some sort of a pullback, like a few day pullback, as you see here. And then if you look at the daily chart, that kind of makes sense, as you see that. Just look at this price action. We've been bullish. We've been breaking higher, higher, higher. We come up and we have kind of this candle of indecision. Longer wick on top, long wick on bottom, small little body. This can go anyway. This could go up, continue to go up, maybe retest this level. This could also reverse. So as of now, the outlook for tomorrow is a little uncertain. I think it's really going to come down to what we're doing in the pre-market, and then in the opening hour or so, which way we break. Do we break to the upside of this range that we're in, or do we break to the downside? As always, I trade every single morning live on this YouTube channel. I stream my trades. I would love for anybody interested, come hang out, come talk. We can share ideas, see what we're seeing. But yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.